Hey guys, Marmalade here. I'm glad you're with me for Q&A number 14, so let's get started right away. Question number 1. Okay, so question number 1 is from Lori Smith. She asks, how do you keep your phone from the cold or overheating in the desert? So, I didn't have too much problem. I went through springtime where it wasn't, it never got above probably 75. It got very cold at night. My first week, it was the middle to high 30s every single night. And what we do out there, really, I keep my phone in my shorts pocket when I'm hiking, and that seems to keep it cool enough in the day, plus it wasn't super hot. But even if it's hot, that's plenty, just keeping it out of the direct sun. But at night, it's very, very important for things that have batteries. So like my Anchor rechargeable batteries that I charge my items with. So those batteries and my phone, I turn my phone off and I put everything in the foot box of my quilt at night to keep kind of basically body temperature at night. Because the cold will deplete the battery very fast. So that's what we do for our phones and our batteries. Okay, so the next question is from Jeff Roberts, and he had said, with Scout and Photo doing their last year of trail angeling and shelling Chicampo and the trail, will there be anybody else doing it? And he also wants to know what would be a good plan to getting to the terminus from the airport. And I said in my last video, but I'm in the starting phase really of doing a video with my friend Robot, aka Robot in the Wild, about some of the places, you know, once you get to San Diego, where could you stay? How can you get to the trail? How hard is it? And how far? And things like that. So I'm in the early process of that. I'm actually reaching out to a couple people that have done some trail angeling. I want to try to get some info from them to start with, and then kind of do my research. So be a little patient. I know some of you guys are going to be through hiking this year, but you know, hopefully have that done by the start of the year, so that you guys have 2 or 3 months to kind of look at the video and plan what you're going to do. So hopefully that helps. So just stay tuned for that. Okay, my next couple questions are from Terry Savini. One of them was, what resources did you use to prepare for your through hike? So I'll try to show a couple of pictures here of what I used, but it's a little bit pricey, but I strongly recommend Yogi's Guide. What's unique about the book is she's a through hiker on the PCT, but interviewed past through hikers, and that's who's in her book about their opinions, like what gear do they bring, where do they resupply, if they were to do it different, what would they do? And what I like about the book and how she has it set up is, in the middle of the book is basically half the book. In the middle is a green page, and from there on it's the same book, a little bit different, but it's perforated so you can tear out. So some people who still use maps, or if not, still will tear out those pages, and in their resupply boxes send themselves the pages that go to the next section after where they are. So you can do that, and you have something to actually refer to. It is a little more weight and space in your pack, but some people do that and they use it to start a fire, or they throw it away at the next town in the garbage. But I used Yogi Guide, and then I used a lot of YouTube videos. So I probably was mired more in trying to figure out my resupply and how many boxes and where and all this stuff than anything. I spent more time and effort and money eventually on it than anything. And I just used all the best resources I had was on YouTube, and watching maybe mine, but other people's who have actually specifically done resupply. So that's mainly who I used. And of course, Google, the internet. So those are my sources. Okay, so she also asked, do you think you will attempt the Triple Crown? So I think I might have answered this first, but yeah, I definitely, right now, my love is the PCT. I want to finish this thing this next year. I've got 1,750 miles from basically where I stopped in the desert, which is Kennedy Meadows, and go north. I want to go north to Stevens Pass, which is in the middle of Washington. So I have that whole giant chunk to do, so that's my plan. And I do plan on triple crowning. I mean, I have to get the first trail done. I mean, I didn't plan on getting hurt or not be able to through hike the whole thing this year, so I have to get this trail finished, and then I can work on the other two. So I'm not sure, the AT doesn't look especially pleasing to me. The CDT looks more, even though it's very tough and long, it looks more similar to the PCT. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know which one I go with next, but I definitely want to do that for sure. Okay, my next question is from Bobby Gator. He asked, did you use knee-high gaiters for snow in the San Jacinto, Big Bear, and in Wrightwood areas? So what's funny about that is I bought them. I'm going to show you a picture of what I got from Amazon.com right here. So that's an interesting question, because, you know, I probably should have used them, because I was so focused on I used my trail crampons, you know, above Idlewild and you know, and Big Bear and Wrightwood, places like that. But I really got them, and I ended up getting a whippet instead of an ice axe. But I got all that gear in the knee-high gaiters for the Sierras. But I could have used the knee-high gaiters for sure. If it's a high snow year, you can definitely need and use them in the mountains before you get to the Sierras. So there was basically 3 giant areas of snow where I could have used them. So yeah, I think it's personal preference, but because I wear shorts, I did scratch and scrape and cut up my legs pretty bad in the snow above Idlewild, especially when I was post holing. So in retrospect, because I'm a shorts wearer on trail, I think pants help hide a lot of that and protect your legs, but I could have used them in Southern California before I even got to the Sierra. So great question. Okay, my last question is, do I prefer stove or stoveless? So I've wrestled with this because in my search to go lighter and more minimalistic on the trail, I've really pondered going stoveless. But I found that at least so far, I've done 2 months straight on the trail and the 903 miles that I really enjoy. My stove is compartmentalized. I did a video if you want to check that out, but my cooking kit, how small it is and light. Of course, I could get rid of that, just have a plastic container and go stoveless, you know, and just cold soak. And I'm really tempted to do it. I have this weird thought that, well, I'll be limited to what I can soak and eat, so I'll get bored of what I'm having. And I also really enjoy a hot meal. When I started the trail, I was going to do hot coffee and a hot meal in the morning, and then at dinner do the same thing. But I found that it takes too much time and too much fuel, and I want to get going in the morning. So I've learned to eat granola and bars and things that I don't have to cook in the morning, and I just actually put my Via coffee in water and just drink it cold and black. So I learned to do that. So the morning I don't even need the stove for that. So in the evenings is when I enjoy a hot meal, whatever it is, and I feel like it's a reward. The food that I bring and the food you have on trail is not that great and delicious as it is, but I feel like for now the stove is the way to go. If I felt like I could get good tasting and a wide varied amount of food cold soaking, I'd try it to save weight and space, but for now I'm going stove only. All right, so those are great questions. It was a quick day today. I appreciate the questions. Please give me more. I've still got a lot to go through. They're older ones, but I really need some new ones and some different kind of takes and different ideas on things. But I really appreciate you watching. It means a lot to me, and I hope I'm helping some of you inspire and motivate and educate, hopefully. If you haven't already, you know, subscribe, like, all that stuff. If you're on YouTube, share it. And again, I have a Patreon account. Go check it out. I think it's really interesting. I just posted one of what's on my first aid kit. And you get things first on there that you don't get on the regular YouTube channel. You eventually get it there, but you get it on my Patreon account first. So go to patreon.com, and you can find me at Michael Marmalade Lawrence. So check me out there. And again, thank you for everything. Until next time, we'll see you down the trail.